Hello, happy Friday. How's it going? I hope you've had an amazing week. I'm not going to take up a whole lot of your time today. I want to just try to be really brief with my information. This one could kind of rabbit hole itself off and talk to you a second about grains. Grains are a little bit of a controversial topic, so I don't want to argue with anybody. I'm just going to tell you the facts, and you can look into it for yourself from there, or, do what you want to do with that, right? That's pretty much the way it is with everything. You don't like what you hear, you don't have to do anything with it. But fact is fact, and just because I say it doesn't mean you have to let it affect your life in any way, shape, or form, right? So, anyway, when I'm talking to you about grains, I'm referring to actual grains as well as grain-like seeds that we have in our diet. Things like wheat, oats, barley, corn, rice, buckwheat, millet, quinoa. All of those are really considered grains. Grains have some very fermentable carbohydrates in them. This is why they're used to make, alcoholic substances and things like that. So I think it kind of goes without saying, like, what could be happening in a unhealthy digestive system when consuming grains, right? Like, we're talking about if you're consuming grains very often and your digestive system isn't moving the way it was designed to, that's really what we've discussed over the last couple of days is, when things ferment in our intestines, how it leaches out through the intestinal lining into the bloodstream, causes inflammation, causes a lot of other issues, right? So one of the ones in grains is gluten, okay? You're not going to find gluten anywhere except in grains, right? Gluten is a very fermentable carbohydrate, and some people have gluten allergies. Some people are gluten sensitive, which if you're gluten sensitive, it may not necessarily show up on a test. It doesn't mean you have celiac disease, anything like that, but it means that grains do affect the nerves in your stomach in a way that it makes you uncomfortable or causes immediate symptoms. Your body reacts against it, right? Like, it puts off that antihistamine to kind of fight that reaction. So that's really the problem that we have with grains, is all of the fermentable properties that are in there imbalancing your gut bacteria and infecting the rest of your body. So another thing that is happening in grains is grains contain what I refer to as anti-nutrients. Not just me, but that's what they're called. Phytates or phytic acid, right? So you may not have ever heard of this before because I feel like it's not often talked about. But what these do is it makes the minerals that are in the grain itself unavailable for use to your body. So whatever zinc, magnesium that you're bringing in for the nutrient value, right, is not being absorbed by your body. Did you know that? I feel like that's kind of a tough one to hear because, I feel like so many times, like, even though I'm telling you whole foods, right? Whole foods that come in their original form. People are telling me, oh, well, I had my oatmeal for breakfast. Is oatmeal in a whole form? No, it's not. It's not. It's a grain. You're not eating it straight off the stalk. You're not pulling it off of a tree. You're not slaughtering it right there and eating it. So what happens is you think sometimes that you're being really healthy by having, you know, certain types of grains, and you could actually be sabotaging yourself. Now, I don't want to say all the time, because a healthy digestive system, right? Like a healthy digestive system is moving after every single meal. And, you know, maybe if you're eating a lot of fiber, a lot of that may be passing through before it's allowed to ferment in the intestines. But really that's what you're up against here. I feel like I need to do a whole separate episode on anti-nutrients, but maybe later, maybe later today. So one of the things that I want you to be aware of, and I'm probably just going to cap it here, is some of the additional inflammatory symptoms or properties of grains that often go very undiagnosed and undetected or unconnected, because they won't show up on an allergy test, because what's happening is in the gut, right? Like it may not, actually you may not even go to the doctor for these, right? Like you might not connect it and need to see an allergist or an internal medicine doctor. So some of these symptoms that relate to grain are, and you're not gonna like any of these, asthma, allergies, skin conditions, like eczema, psoriasis, rosacea. It can cause fertility problems, can trigger migraines, joint pain. I mean, those are some heavy symptoms, right? Like related to what we would in some forms consider a health food, right? Like who doesn't think that they're being helpful and lowering their cholesterol when they're consuming a bowl of oatmeal, right? But this is science. Don't believe me? Google phytates, P-H-Y, P-H-Y-A-T-E-S, right? I think that's right. Anyway, spelling is not my specialty, but I think that's right. P-H-Y-A-T-E-S. Google it. Do your own research. You don't have to believe it just because I say it, but it is what it is. So if you are dealing with asthma, allergies, those skin conditions, if you're dealing with some fertility problems, if you're regularly having migraines, if your kids are regularly having migraines, there's so many food-related triggers there, okay? So I just want to help you be aware, okay? Grains are good in a extremely healthy digestive system, but they are not good, but grains are okay in a very healthy digestive system. In an unhealthy digestive system, or in someone who's already struggling with immune disorders or whatever, grains is only going to just set it off. It's gonna like light a fire in your body, okay? I don't know. I hate to say I hope this helps, because it's another one kind of like sugar where I feel like I'm telling you the bad news, but you can't fix it if you don't know it's causing a problem, right? Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and maybe I'll pop back in before Monday with a little chat or something. I'm not sure. I'm trying to do 3 of these a week. That's my goal, is like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday video for you. So anyway, happy weekend, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.